What happened to Marina Mabrey? Scary visuals after injury during Connecticut Sun versus Dallas Wings game. One of the most anticipated matchups this week has been a showdown between the Dallas Wings and the Connecticut Sun. And let's be honest, everyone was curious to see which of these bottom-ranked teams would come out on top, especially with Paige Bueckers and company averaging 81.5 points per game, just 6.3 points shy of what the Sun typically allows. And for Bueckers, the stakes were sky high. A win here wasn't just about bragging rights. It had the potential to shift momentum and give the Wings a much-needed climb in the standings, something she's been made to carry on her back as the #1 pick. So yeah, the hype was real, and it didn't take long for that energy to spill onto the court. As the team stepped into Mohegan Sun Arena, what was supposed to be a Sun victory started leaning heavily into upset territory. The Wings came out swinging, building a 14-point lead by halftime and flipping the narrative entirely. And just when the Sun was under mounting pressure to respond, disaster struck. They lost a crucial piece of their lineup, and everything started to unravel. How did Marina Mabrey get injured at a crucial moment? It all came just before halftime, when Suns guard Marina Mabrey was seen suddenly slowing down, stopping gingerly on the court before limping off to the locker room. At first, it wasn't clear exactly when or how she got hurt, but replays later showed a moment of contact with Paige Bueckers that might have caused the injury. Soon after, the team confirmed that Mabrey had suffered a left knee injury and was listed as questionable to return. That alone was enough to worry Sun fans, given Mabrey's value to the team. But not long after the halftime break ended, there was a sigh of relief across the stands, because Suns #3 was back out on the court, lacing up and ready to battle through the pain to start the second half. And honestly, it made perfect sense why she'd push through. She currently leads the Sun in both scoring and assists, averaging 15.8 points and 3.8 assists per game. But it's not just that, she's also their most consistent perimeter threat, knocking down 2.4 three-pointers per game, the most on the roster. So you know why her presence was important? And as the second half progressed and the Sun began closing in on the Wings' lead, it was clear Mabrey wasn't just out there for show. She was making an impact, and by the time the fourth quarter opened, the Sun had trimmed the deficit to 75-79, showing they weren't going down without a fight. The 2025 season hasn't been smooth for Marina Mabrey. Well, this isn't the first time Marina Mabrey's dealt with injuries. Just like the rest of the league, she's had her fair share of bad luck with the injury bug. In fact, it's been a recurring theme for her. It all started during the WNBA semifinals against the Minnesota Lynx in Game 5, when Mabrey twisted her ankle with about 8:22 left in the second quarter. She had to exit the game briefly, but being the tough competitor she is, she returned by halftime and still managed to drop 8 points in just 14 minutes. Her grit didn't go unnoticed either, as Sun head coach Stephanie White praised her, saying, "She's one of the toughest kids I've ever been around." Still, the injury, though initially minor, limited her minutes for the rest of the game. And while the Sun were eventually knocked out of the semifinals, it gave Mabrey some much-needed time to recover. Once she started training again in the unrivaled 3-on-3 league, she suffered a right calf strain that required an MRI at Mount Sinai. The results confirmed the strain, ruling her out for at least 2 weeks, with a follow-up scheduled in 2 to 4 weeks. Mabrey ended up playing only 3 games before sitting out the rest of January. Then, she made her regular season debut for the Connecticut Sun, looking sharp, and for a while, everything seemed to be back on track until now. For Mabrey, her first notable setback came during the 2021-22 WNBL season with the Perth Lynx, where she missed multiple games due to foot discomfort. At one point, she had to pull out of a game in Bendigo after scans showed inflammation. And while there was no structural damage, it still forced her to wear a moon boot for recovery. Then, during the 2023 WNBA season with the Chicago Sky, Mabrey appeared to land awkwardly in a game versus the Seattle Storm and didn't return after halftime due to what was described as a minor leg issue or cramp. Though she didn't miss any games after that, it added to her growing list of close calls. So yeah, Mabrey's been through a lot, but don't mistake that for weakness, as she's always battled through the pain. In fact, that's part of why the Sun wasn't willing to let her go, even when she asked to be put on the trade block. Well, Sun's former guard Alyssa Thomas summed it up best. She's a dog. We need three-point shooting, and that's her specialty. That fire and competitive edge is exactly what's helped shape the Sun's identity. And now, Mabrey's proving just how dominant she can be. But you remember her recently behavior with Caitlin Clark. Fan going crazy, says it's instant karma had a face. Marina Mabrey. Now look, y'all, I'm never the type to celebrate someone getting hurt. That's not how I roll. Injuries are no joke, and I don't wish that on any player. But man, this one, I gotta be honest, it's kind of hard not to laugh just a little bit. Because this right here feels like karma in real time. The universe? It heard everything. It sees everything. And today, it spoke loud and clear. Marina Mabrey, the same Marina involved in all that dirty business with Caitlin Clark, has now gone down with a serious injury. And you know who it happened against? The Dallas Wings. Yes, Paige Bueckers squad. DJ, Carrington crew. I mean, come on. The irony is loud. The same team that just gave us back-to-back wins and Paige's epic return? That's the team Marina gets hurt against? You can't make this up. Let's check out what's trending on X, formerly Twitter, because people are definitely reacting to this. I'm not saying it's funny that she's hurt. Not at all. But if instant karma had a face, Marina Mabrey's picture just might be next to it. Let's keep it real. Let's talk about it. Yo, this just dropped like 15 minutes ago on X, straight from ESPNW, and man, it's wild. They just reported, Connecticut Sun guard Marina Mabrey left the game and is questionable to return after suffering an apparent injury to her left knee. Flushed face. The team made it official. That's the injury update. And guess who's right there in front of her when it happened? Paige Bueckers. Yup, that Paige. Right in her face, bro. And here's Marina, limping off the court. Not looking good at all. Let me read you the updated status report. Dallas Wings versus Sun. Marina Mabrey. Questionable with a left leg injury. Now rewind the clock a few days back. Y'all remember what went down, right? Marina Mabrey was out here trending for all the wrong reasons. She was catching heat all over social media for launching Caitlin Clark with that now infamous shove, like she was trying to send her in next week. Now fast forward to tonight, and boom, karma hits back. And to make it even more poetic, the person who was right there during the injury, Paige Bueckers. That's not just a coincidence. That's the universe playing producer. I ain't saying it's funny she's hurt. Let me be clear, but man, if there was ever a moment where the basketball god said, "We saw that," this might be it. Let's see if they replay the clip, because if Paige actually caught her ankles before that injury, oh boy, the internet's gonna eat that alive. Eyes. What's crazy about all of this, y'all, is that just a few days ago, the entire internet was out here screaming, yelling, begging for Marina Mabrey to get suspended. Like for real. People wanted her sat down immediately after what she did to Caitlin Clark. And guess what? The universe stepped in. Yup, the basketball gods looked down and said, "Don't even worry about it. I got this." Boom. She's limping. She's hurt. No foul call. No suspension. Just karma doing the dirty work. Bro, it's like the universe literally said, "You want her off the court? Done." I know I shouldn't laugh. I know I shouldn't. But damn, this is poetic. You can't write this stuff. This is that instant justice story ESPN won't tell you. It's wild, man. The same player everybody was calling out just got taken out by the same court she thought she could run wild on. And all it took was time. Just a few days. The universe saw it all, and it hit send.
Off the floor. Let's take a look and see what led to this shakeup.
Oh, just kind of planted wrong and hyperextends her knee a little bit. And she's going straight back into the locker room.
Heading down the tunnel right now. Bueckers has that handle that is so difficult to keep in front of you. Mabrey's come alive, 7 points here in the quarter.